The Vikings are more than happy to hit the road again this week because they are still alive in the playoffs. Awaiting them, a rested number 1 seeded 49ers squad eager to get their playoff season going. A set of 6 predictions are on tap. First, though, we line the 2 squads up to help you form a prediction of your own. So Kirk Cousins finally has that game under his belt.
Cousins throws, passes, caught for the win!
Cousins came up huge in OT for Minnesota, making several key throws on their game-winning drive. Now, overall, he didn't put up big numbers, but that fits Minnesota's game plan most of the time. They don't usually look for 300-yard type games from him. They want efficiency.
They fake the pitch, Cousins throws, end zone, grabbed by Irv Smith.
And their numbers on the season reflect that, as they rank really high in passer rating, but lower in passing yards per game. But Minnesota's passing attack clearly is capable of more when Adam Thielen is healthy, and he showed last week that he's finally just that.
Cousins, Thielen, he's got it!
Thielen missed time down the stretch with a hamstring injury, and having him back to his normal self for this game is going to be huge because they will need all their bullets when they face San Fran's secondary.
Winston picked off! It is Richard Sherman!
The Niners' pass D has been remarkable this year, though it is a little beat up right now. And it hasn't mattered what kind of throw they've been defending. They're 7th in rating against and 7th in best completion percentage against. And they're tied for first in pass plays of 20-plus yards allowed, so they rarely give up anything big. And they don't discriminate when it comes to who they're bottling up. 2nd in receiving yards allowed to running backs, 4th against wide receivers, 1st versus tight ends.
Some short drop by Allen, and the pass is intercepted, and it's Emmanuel Mosley who picks it off.
Now, they do have a couple statistical weaknesses on D, the first of which is their run defense, which clearly matters in this game because of Dalvin Cook. The 49ers gave up 4.5 yards a carry on the season, which ranked 23rd. However, that figure's a little inflated by facing a lot of mobile QBs this year. Cook, meantime, had plenty of big runs against the Saints, showing he's put his injured shoulder behind him.
Here's Cook. Nice cut back for the touchdown.
Cook did struggle to find some open lanes against the Saints D that was often anticipating him getting the ball. He managed just 3.4 yards a carry. His ability to pick up yards early in the game will be critical. Minnesota kept feeding Cook even if there wasn't much to be gained because it kills clock. And that in turn helped keep Drew Brees on the sideline, which is exactly where they would like to keep Jimmy Garoppolo.
Garoppolo's throw is caught by Jeff Wilson. He's going to score a touchdown.
Garoppolo has been at the helm of a quick strike offense that produced the 4th most yards per game and 2nd most points per game. The 49ers passing attack has been more diverse since picking up Emmanuel Sanders, and Deebo Samuel has really come along as the season progressed. But the guy that clearly makes their passing attack motor churn is, of course, George Kittle.
Looking, firing, it is caught! Touchdown! George Kittle!
The only issue that has come up a handful of times is Garoppolo falling too in love with Kittle. So now you're to the Vikings' pass defense that is going to come into this game with some confidence after what they did against Drew Brees last week.
Here's one for Ginn. That play is not there, and it is picked.
The Vikings held Brees to just 208 passing yards, but they also gave up a 50-yard pass to Taysom Hill. So on the day, they actually gave up more passing yards than they did on average during the season. Minnesota's pass D this year can be best described as solid. They held QBs to an 86.1 rating, and they fared well in keeping teams from hitting big on them. But only 5 teams gave up a worse completion percentage than they did, all those numbers indicating they gave up a lot of passes underneath, which is a San Fran specialty.
Looking one way, and they go to Kevin Coleman. He's going to score his 2nd touchdown.
Garoppolo had the 3rd most yards after the catch of any QB this year. The Vikings, however, finished 1st when it comes to missed tackles, sound tackling a key to preventing the Niners from racking up too much yak. But in the end, when the Niners have the ball, the first thing you have to be able to do is stop their rush game, which few defenses have been able to do this season.
Through the middle, Mostert into the end zone.
The Niners have a 3-headed back attack, and 2 of their 3 had a yards per carry average over 5, Tevin Coleman coming in at an even 4 a pop. The Niners ran the ball 2nd most in the league behind the Ravens this season, so it's clearly their preferred method of travel. The Vikings against the run, 4.3 yards per carry allowed, 13th in rush yards per game allowed, so not terrible, not great. Where the Vikings D might have an advantage, in the red zone.
Prescott to the outside, and it's broken up.
Minnesota was second best keeping teams from scoring a TD inside the 20, while the 49ers were just 21st at red zone TD scoring. So two teams that like to run, both with efficient passing offenses, though one will face a much tougher secondary, on paper anyway. Keep all your predictions and analysis coming in the comments section on YouTube. We're all fans, plenty of good football knowledge out there to share. For now, though, let's see what our folks at NFL Media think about this game.
Garoppolo's got all day. He's going to launch it deep down the field, going for it all, and getting it! Emmanuel Sanders, not touched, still on his feet, inside the 10, and he scores!